Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I thought I'd switch it up because obviously I've given you guys a ton of workouts you can do at home, and I wanted to talk about something a little bit different, but it's something I get asked about a lot. So as you can tell from the title of the video, today we're talking business and how I grew my business and like why I started it and stuff. So yeah, let's just jump straight into it. Okay guys, so I'm going to take it all the way back to sixth form. So I think when I was in year 12, I applied to work for Sainsbury's, and Sainsbury's was my first ever job. I'd never had a job before that. So I remember applying online, and then they would say something like, oh, we'll get back to you within a week or something. And then like a couple of days passed and I thought I'd phone up just to like make sure they know who I am. So I phoned up and I said, oh hi, I applied online a couple of days ago, my name's Natalie, etc. And then she was like, oh okay, yeah, we're still reviewing people, we'll let you know like tomorrow or the day after. And then like the next day came and they phoned me. I remember running down from the library, they phoned me and I was like, yeah, we'd like to offer you the job. I was like, fantastic. So the Sainsbury's I worked in was about 10 minutes on the bus from my sixth form. So I worked Friday 4 till 10 and then like Sunday 11 till 5. And like every Friday I'd get on the bus after that sixth form and go to work. Cool. And when I first started working at Sainsbury's, guys, when I tell you I loved it, like I loved it like I was the owner of Sainsbury's. But I think there was two reasons why I loved it, because one, obviously I'd never had a job before, and two, it was the novelty of the situation. I'd never been in a workplace, so obviously it was like a whole new like learning thing. So yeah, I started working at Sainsbury's and I was always on like self-checkout, so the tills and self-checkout. And like, obviously you talk to a lot of people, blah, 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 fantastic. So I was at Sainsbury's for about 2 years, I think, or just under 2 years. But yeah, after a while working at Sainsbury's, the job became ridiculously tedious. Like I can't even explain how much I hated the job. It got so tedious that I genuinely suffered from depression. Like when I was working at Sainsbury's, like I got so down because a lot of the people that worked in my Sainsbury's, they had been there for like 10 years or 10 years or more. And with me, like I'm a very business minded person. I don't like being complacent. I don't like being doing mediocre work. I don't like being stuck in the same position. So when I was surrounded by all these people who were stuck in the same position for 10 years, it got me down. Like I wanted to be around people that also wanted to excel, and obviously I couldn't because I was working in Sainsbury's. So yeah, like me going on my lunch break and holding meaningless conversations, like the people at my workplace were lovely, but the conversations were meaningless. And like when I come back on the shop floor, I'm just talking to all these customers, see the same people every day. And like my biggest nightmare and like biggest worry in life is being stuck in a job that I hate. And it's so like routinal in the sense that you do the same thing every single day, day in, day out, and you don't move up the ladder or you don't do anything different. And that's what Sainsbury's was. I literally did the same thing for 2 years. And there's people that have done that for 10 years or more. There was one lady there that I think that was her 12th year. And like, I couldn't believe that this is people's lives. So yeah, it got me really down because I felt like I was going to be stuck there forever. Even though I knew I was going to uni, it just felt like it was never going to end. So yeah, it got to a point where I just couldn't be bothered with the workplace anymore. So when you hand in your notice, I think we had to give a month like notice. I literally gave like 4 days. Handed it to the manager. I said to him, in 4 days time, you're going to have no one on self-checkout if you don't find someone, because I'm not going to be here. Like, you either find someone or you're not going to have anyone here, literally. So he was like, oh, but you've got to give a month. I said, I'm leaving in 4 days. So cool, I left in 4 days, and then that was like a month and a half before uni. Came to uni, and you know with student finance, yeah? You know when student finance just lands in your account and you've never quite seen figures like that in your account. So cool, student finance landed in my account in first term uni, yeah. Paid my rent. I don't remember spending money, but I clearly did because I was broke after about 2 weeks. So yeah, first term of uni in first year, I was broke, guys. Differently, like I was just so broke, yeah. Okay, let's not talk about it because it is so sad. So yeah, I was broke. And when December came, so when you break up for Christmas, I was like, Natalie, what are you actually going to do? Because I applied for Sports Direct. So I remember applying for Sports Direct and I was like, okay, maybe when I go back to ends, I can literally work a job and then blah, blah, blah. But then I was like, no, because Sports Direct will be the same thing as Sainsbury's. I'll be doing the same stuff every single day. I was like, no, cool. So at this time, I had already been working on my first ever guide from about June or July. So I was already working on it, it was already in the works. And I thought, okay, cool, maybe I should do pre-orders for my guide. So I told everyone on my Snapchat, everyone on my social media, guys, January 1st, 2018, I'm dropping my beauty guide. Yeah, you guys need to cop this ASAP. So I said, okay, cool. anyone that pre-orders before January 1st, 2018 will get the guide first. That was a marketing technique. I also said the first 20 people to pre-order can get it for $11.99 instead of the full price, $14.99. That was a marketing technique. So this was like December 13th or like mid-December. And my phone started blowing up and so many girls were popping up like, okay, can I have your PayPal? Can I have your bank details? Like, take my email, like, let me pre-order. And guys, I had never seen money like that. Like, £15 was just rolling into my account over and over again. Like, it was insane. Before January 1st, I think I had about 210 pre-orders. So obviously, the first 20 were $11.99, but the rest of them were £15, the full price. So it was just crazy. And what I want you guys to take from that little segment is the marketing technique of it, because obviously by me saying that the first 20 will get it for $11.99 and me saying that if you pre-order you'll get it first, and if you don't then you'll get it a couple of days after, it creates a demand. People will want to give you their money because there's a demand for it. Okay, cool. So then January 1st came, I dropped the guide at like 5 p.m, whatever the time was, can't remember. Dropped the guide, and then when people saw, so the people that hadn't bought the guide yet, when those people saw the amount of people receiving their guides and sending me messages, those people then bought the guide. I've literally realised that people like to see people buy something and then they'll buy it. So I knew that by putting up everyone's response to my guide, more people would buy it. So tons of people were popping up saying, wow, I received the guide, it's so good, it's so in depth, and then more people were buying it. So January the sales were high, and then March I released my abs guide, and then I released my hips and thighs guide, and it just continued. And yeah, it was just crazy. But what I really realized from doing all this is that to be successful with a business, if you have a product, you want your product to solve an issue. So of course, a lot of girls come to me and they're having issues with like how to grow their bum or how to grow their lower body, etc. And you create a product that solves that problem. So girls want to grow their bum, I create a product that does that. Girls want a slimmer waist, I create the abs guide that does that. Girls know that hip dips and stuff are annoying, I create a product that solves that issue. So you really want to focus on what the issue is and how you can solve it and how you can solve it differently. Literally before I released my guide, I did tons of research. I spent money buying people's guides so that I could see what was already out there, because to replicate work that's already out there is pointless. And if you look at how much sales that person's made, and then you need to think about how you can make it different so that you can increase the sales. So I did tons of research, tons of market research, looked at loads of people's guides, and then I created mine. And yeah, literally it just went on from there. And then in regards to the resistance bands, at that time I didn't know anyone that had a product and created the product from scratch. So I didn't know who to ask, I didn't know where to find vendors, and I did loads of research and I wasn't quite getting it. So then I left it for a couple months. And then not even a couple months, I think I left it for about a year. And I came back and I said, no, like I really want to sell resistance bands. So I went onto Alibaba.com, and obviously they have loads of vendors on there, and I found a vendor in Pakistan. And the reason why I was a bit worried, a bit skeptical, is because when you find a vendor in a completely different country, there's often a language barrier. And even though I can articulate myself well, I didn't want there to be any mishaps with the orders or anything going wrong with the orders. But I found a vendor in Pakistan and his English was very good, and I was like, okay, cool. And then I spoke to him about what I wanted and like the fabric, and literally guys, you can't see it right now, but on top of my wardrobe I have tons of just plain resistance bands. I spent so much money on getting resistance bands shipped from Pakistan to here to make sure the band was right, to make sure that it was the right width, the right stretchiness, and it took so many samples, but that's what needed to be done. And I think if you do want to sell an actual product, whether it's lashes, whether it's gym equipment, whatever, you need to do thorough research and sampling. Because if I could have ordered one resistance band, I said, yeah, that's decent, and sent it out, but then your work is mediocre. If people know you for mediocre work, they will not recommend you. I think the reason why my guides did so well and my resistance bands is because I put effort into making sure it's correct. I literally worked on my booty guide for 6 months before I released it. And then I worked on my abs guide for 3 months before I released it. And I think it's important to make sure you put in work. Don't just say you're putting in work. Don't tell your friends you're putting in work. Don't put it up on Snapchat, oh, I'm mashing work at 2 a.m. No, you need to put in the work, whether it's silent or loud. You need to make sure that your work is good, because that's how people will recommend you. And then that's how you get credibility. So yeah, back to resistance bands. I found my vendor in Pakistan, did loads of sampling. He sent over the first product, so like with my logo on it. And yeah, it was perfectly fine. And then I ordered a bulk order. And then yeah, I literally just bought stuff from Amazon, like printing paper and then like the mailing bags. and it generally took off from there. I think if you guys want me to do a video on how I package and send off the resistance bands, let me know. Leave a comment down below and let me know if you want me to do a video on that, because I think it's quite a good insight for anyone that is considering selling products. And I just want to make a quick disclaimer about the resistance bands. Anyone that has pre-ordered their bands, the virus has delayed everything. So my bands are in the UK, they're in a warehouse, but the warehouse has stopped distributing because of the virus. So obviously when the virus dies down, when we're outside of lockdown, they'll be shipped to me and then I can ship them to you, but I have no control. The virus, I've had a nightmare with it, but the virus has just delayed everything. But yeah, if you guys want me to do a video on that, leave a comment down below and then I'll do it once the bands arrive. But yeah guys, what I want you to take from this video is that you need to put in work. You need to know where you want to be and what you want to do with your life, and then you need to put into action. There is genuinely no point in saying you want this, and not willing to do the work that comes with it. And I think it's important that once you start making money, you need to be responsible with it, because if your product does go off the shelves like mine did, like from the start with my guides, it's so easy to get roped in with the figures and with the money, and then you're like, okay, I want to make more money, I want to make more money, and then you just go left. Because I could have very easily just found an eyelash vendor and started selling lashes because all my followers are girls, but it doesn't make sense. It doesn't go with my brand, it doesn't go with what I stand for, do you know what I mean? I do fitness, so I think you need to stay on one track, and then when you start venturing out, you want to make sure that those other business ventures are related to your first ever business. Like me doing resistance bands, that links with fitness. Me selling my protein products, that links with fitness. So yeah, just make sure you stay on one track and you just don't go all over the place, and just really put in the work, guys. Like, I can't even express how much work it has taken for me to get here. Even way back before I worked in Sainsbury's, when I used to film videos on Insta and like put them up there, I'd be filming at like 2 AM, 3 AM in the gym. I'd get home, I'd edit till like 5, then I'd go sleep. Like, it was insane. So yeah, just put in the work, guys, and I promise you it'll pay off. But yeah, that's literally all I wanted to come here and say. I just wanted to give a little bit of backstory about where I started from and then how I got here, because I do always get asked about it. But yeah, if you guys want that video on how I package and send off the bands, leave a comment down below, and also leave a comment down below if you have a business and anything you're struggling with or anything you need any tips on, and I'll reply to you in the comments. But yeah guys, thank you for watching. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, okay? Click that like button, click that subscribe button, and leave a comment if you want to. Yeah, thank you for 60k subscribers, and I'll see you in my next video.